pickup today. At Old Town Dry Cleaners, our #1 priority is the careful cleaning and handling of your items. We stand by our customers, and our customers stick with us.
Cleve's Sports Cards is proud to sponsor your Northwest Arkansas Naturals post-game show. As the oldest card shop in Arkansas, they've been buying, selling, and trading sports cards and memorabilia right here in Springdale since 1979. They offer the largest selection of new wax, modern, and vintage singles in NWA. Visit them today at 1528 West Sunset Avenue in Springdale to add to your collection. Cleve's Sports Cards is open Monday through Friday from 10 to 6 and 10 to 4 on Saturdays. A big league shop with a small hometown feel. Rip it at Cleve's.
Hey, welcome back into the Eco Waste Solutions radio booth. Sean Murnan along with you here. Naturals dropped this one 11-8 in the fourth game of the series. They won the series opener, but since then 0-3 against Arkansas. They lost 12-0 yesterday. Hung in this one for a while thanks to a crooked number in the fourth, but they got one back in the fifth. And, well, let's just run this one down a little bit. So over the first 3 innings, you had a bit of a pitcher's duel. Drew Beam on the Naturals side, 2024 national champion in the College World Series with the Tennessee Volunteers, and then Cade Anderson, an LSU Tigers most outstanding player in last year's College World Series, and also a champion. He's the #7 prospect in all of baseball, #2 for Seattle. Beam #10 for the Kansas City Royals, and they both got off to hot starts. Beam gave up a hit in the first inning, but worked around it, and then got a 1-2-3 inning in the second. Anderson got a 1-2-3 first, gave up a hit to Jack Pineda in the second. Naturals were not done with him there, though. You go to the fourth inning, top half of the frame, the first run of the game gets scored. Arkansas picks it up after Nick Raposo singles to left field. It brings home Lazaro Montes to make it a 1-0 Travelers lead. But in the bottom half of the inning, the Naturals really got to Cade Anderson. Colton Becker started off with a double to right, and then Spencer Nivens a single to center. Jorge Alfaro picks up an RBI with a single to left field. Daniel Vasquez comes up. He hits a ground ball to short. Alfaro gets put out at second, but it allows Spencer Nivens to come home to score. Naturals take a 2-1 lead. They still weren't done. Jack Pineda ends up with a single to center, and then Omar Hernandez steps in and blasts a homer. His first of the season, pulls side into left center, back into the recess, and the Naturals take themselves a 5-1 advantage. That lasted until the top half of the fifth inning. 7 runs come home to score for the Arkansas Travelers. You had three walks in that inning, a hit batsman, a wild pitch, a balk. There was all sorts of turmoil there. A 7-run frame for the Arkansas Travelers, and after the dust settles in that inning, you end up with an 8-5 Arkansas lead. Now, the Naturals came back in the bottom of the 7th inning. This time, it was Kenyon Brown reaching, and then Justin Johnson with a walk behind him for Carson Rockefort to set up a big hit to right field. Rockefort's double, his 7th of the season, makes it a 1-run game at 8-7. And then later in the inning with Rockefort at third base, he comes around to score on a passed ball. That, by the way, was a sacrifice bunt from Colton Becker back to the mound. But the passed ball allows Rockefort to score. You're back even. Zachary Coyer comes in out of the bullpen, and he was nails over the 7th and over the 7th and 8th inning. Walked the leadoff man, Caleb Cowley, and then got a fly ball to left out of Nick Raposo. Josh Hood doubled to left. That sent Cowley over to third base, but then Bill Knight struck out, and Blake Rambush grounded out to short to close out the inning. Coyer came back for the 8th and got a 1-2-3 frame against the top 3 hitters in the lineup, Sundstrom, Pagliarini, and Fitzgerald. A couple of strikeouts for him there as well to keep things going. Peyton Alford came in the 8th inning for the Travs. He gave up a hit with 2 outs to Jack Pineda, who was 4 for 4, but then struck out Omar Hernandez to end the inning, keeping it a tie ball game. But in the 9th, Brandon Johnson came in out of the bullpen, rudely greeted Lazaro Montes with his 8th home run of the season, a big fly halfway up the berm and right in front of the scoreboard. It made it a 9-8 game. Johnson got 2 ground balls to third, Jack Pineda handling them beautifully, but then a walk to Josh Hood, a wild pitch sent him to second. Bill Knight doubled to right field. That scored the 10th run of the game, and then Knight comes around to score after Blake Rambush singles to left to make it an 11-8 lead for the Travelers. Rambush would eventually be picked off, caught stealing at first. and that would close out the inning. You go to the ninth, the bottom half of the inning. Canyon Brown, Justin Johnson each strike out, but then Carson Rockefort singles to right, Colton Becker to left. Now you're in business. You get the three-hole hitter Spencer Nivens up to the plate, but after he battled a bit with Peyton Alford, he goes down by way of the strikeout. Alford with 6 of them to close out the game, and that ends the ball game there. An 11-8 victory for the Arkansas Travelers. It's 11 runs on 11 hits with an error. The Travs strand 7 on base. They were 5 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Naturals 8-11-1, 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error with 4 left on base. They were 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position this evening. So the efficiency was there on offense, but unfortunately for the Naturals, couldn't hold on to that lead late. We look up and down the box score. Carson Rockefort with a 2-hit night, also 2 RBI. Colton Becker 2 for 4 with a run scored. Then you look, Spencer Nivens, a 1 for 5 day. He scored a run. Jorge Alfaro, 1 for 4 with an RBI. Daniel Vasquez was 0 for 4, but he ended up bringing home a run and also scored one himself. Jack Pineda, 4 for 4 at the plate with a run scored this evening. Then you have Omar Hernandez, 1 for 4 with a run scored. He also drove 3 in with his homer. Canyon Brown scored a run. So did Justin Johnson. Everybody except for Alfaro came around to score, and of course Alfaro had the RBI. So 11 for 37 in this game, 8 runs scored, 7 ribbies. Naturals walked once but punched out 16 times. As far as the extra base hits, Becker had a double. That was his 5th of the year. Rockefort had his 7th two-bagger of the season, and then Pineda his 2nd triple of the year. Omar Hernandez also ended up with his first home run. That was in the 4th inning off Cade Anderson with 2 on and 1 out. As far as the pitching goes, we'll take a look here, and you've got Marcelo Perez with a blown save, an inning of work. He gave up 3 runs, 1 earned on 1 hit with a walk and 2 punch-outs. Alford picks up the win. He's now 6-2 on the season already. Two innings of work, did not allow a run or a walk, 3 hits,